I was supposed to be in Tuscany for my birthday. In Tuscany, that was the plan, not in my yard picking up dog poop. So a few years ago, I spent my birthday in Bali. Another year, I spent it in Morocco. And this year, I spent part of my birthday doing laundry, washing dishes, picking up dog poop, like I said. And somehow, this was one of the happiest birthdays I've ever had. Now, don't get me wrong, I love to travel, so Italy is still happening, trust me. But as I reflected on my birthday this week, I realized something that surprised me with these mosquitoes. In Bali, I was standing in paradise while carrying things that were stealing my peace. In Morocco, I was surrounded by beauty while wrestling with questions I don't want to answer. There were situations I needed clarity on, relationships that were taking up, I would say, more space in my mind than they deserved, and some attachments I probably should have released by then. The scenery was breathtaking out there, but my inner world was noisy. And so this birthday looked much less impressive from the outside. No passport stamps or luxury resort, no exotic backdrop. Well, besides this video, I spent time working on a passion project at my favorite coffee shop. I had dinner with my sister and my girls. I connected with friends I hadn't talked to in years. And I felt such a deep sense of gratitude. I felt so healthy and strong, and most of all, present. And that made me wonder if a lot of us are chasing the wrong thing, especially when you're a high achieving woman. I don't think my problem was that I wasn't enjoying my life. I was, and I am. I enjoyed Bali. I enjoyed Morocco. I enjoyed brunch with friends, coffee dates, birthday dinners, all of that. But the problem is that I rarely stayed with the moment long enough to fully absorb it. So before the paint dried, I was already moving on to the next thing, the next goal, the next trip, the next chapter, the next version of myself. And I remember looking at pictures of myself at 42 recently and thinking, dang, I looked good. I looked strong and fit and healthy. But when I was 42, I wasn't really thinking like that. I was thinking, how do I take it to the next level? How do I improve this? What's next? And I started wondering, how many beautiful seasons of my life have I rushed through while trying to optimize them? How many moments I experienced without fully receiving? Or how many gifts have I admired without actually opening them? Arthur Brooks talks about how we often reduce our enjoyment of an experience when we're constantly documenting it, because instead of fully experiencing the moment, part of our brain shifts into capturing it, evaluating, and saving, and preparing it for later, to enjoy later. And I think high achieving women do this with life itself. We don't just experience our lives, we're always managing, measuring, running KPIs on our own lives and optimizing them. And sometimes we move so quickly towards the next thing that we never let ourselves fully cherish the thing we're standing in. Does that make sense? But what if life doesn't start after, but is happening right now? And a lot of women accidentally treat joy like something you can do later, something you earn after you finish everything else. But the problem is the to-do list is never finished. There is always another goal, another thing to optimize, and before you know it, you've become incredibly productive but strangely absent from your own life. I know because I've done it, and I've spent years chasing the next thing, the next milestone, the next accomplishment, and those things can absolutely be wonderful. Like, I'm ambitious, I love growth, I love travel, I love creating. But somewhere along the way, I started realizing that achievement and enjoyment are not the same thing. You can achieve beautiful things and still miss them. You can stand in paradise and be mentally somewhere else. You can finally arrive at that thing you've wanted and still not feel settled, because peace isn't always found in the destination. Sometimes peace comes from finally being present where you already are. And one of the greatest gifts of getting older has been perspective. At 49, I find the extraordinary in every day. And one way I train my brain to look for beauty is a daily gratitude list. God whispering, I love you through a beautiful sunrise, a sweet conversation with my daughters or my sister, the friend who called after years, the strength to go to the gym, the ability to walk, to learn, the ability to dream about the future or to expect wonder around every corner. The fact that I woke up healthy, that's not small, that's a gift. I think we spend so much time romanticizing a future life that we stop appreciating the one we're living. And maybe sometimes that's why joy feels so elusive, because we're constantly postponing it. So this birthday reminded me of something I don't want to forget. Joy is not what happens after life, it is a part of life. It's not a distraction. Um, and maybe the greatest glow up isn't becoming someone new, but finally becoming present enough to enjoy the life you already have. So, if you have been feeling disconnected from yourself, waiting for the next season, the next goal, the next breakthrough to finally feel at peace, I created a 7-day return for women exactly like you. It's a gentle homecoming through faith, movement, reflection, nourishing meals, and small daily shifts that help you reconnect with yourself and your rhythm. The link is in the description, and I will see you in the next episode. And I'm Leah, and I make these videos to remind you that you are not behind. You are allowed to take up space, and life is still inviting you to the dance floor. So come dance with me. Stay on beat. Bye.